everybody. Welcome to Cow Daily. Special shouts to Steve Jackson. It's one for the crew there. You're already there in the comments, so I replied, "Hello, pal. Good to see you." Today, just a little disclaimer. It feels a little bit like, have you seen the Kevin Smith film Clerks? It feels like I'm not supposed to be here today. I'm just absolutely sick and tired of talking about Keir Starmer, but he just keeps doing stuff just solely designed to bait us, I think. So it's got to be done. But it'll be as entertaining as ever, I'm sure of it. Big up Bordeaux, Girondin. Anyway, moving swiftly on from that. See who's in the comments before we do the usual. We've got an E from Joanne, an E from Zoe, and E in spirit from Bob. There's a morning there. Morning, everybody. And the original bad man there, Stephen Jackson with his E. Right. I mean, I don't even know where to start with this. Let's do the housekeeping first, though. If you would like to support our work, please go to patreon.com/cowdaily. That's patreon.com/cowdaily. I've got a bit of a cad voice on. I think it should be called Basil Rathbone. Also, please share the stream, good people. And if you want to make a one-off donation to our work, go to the PayPal link in the description. Decide to throw the stream in there just to mix it up a bit. Keeping it like that. Who else is popping up in there? Morning from JC, not that one. Morning. Carlos has arrived. Morning, Carlos. Good to see you. Hi. Starmer Rama, Drama, Magrama Lama. What's he on about, man? I mean, you know what I'm going to be bringing up, but let's have a record of it for the Akashic record, as well as other records. Joanne's left Turkey and she's in Northants, everybody. She's back in Blighty. Just going to have a drink, 2 seconds audio, people. Speaking of audio, if you want to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, links in the description. We're starting to climb back up the charts again after bloody blah, flabba road crash, but here we are back. Let's start with Starmer, though, shall we? Keir Starmer. I'll have to watch what I'm saying. We're only 2 minutes 43 in. There he is there. Your boy. What's he been saying? God, man. I just can't even believe this person. Right, let's see what he's all about then.
Virus that is antisocial behavior, fly tipping, off-road biking in rural areas, drugs. Now, some people call this low level. I do not want to hear those words. There's a family in my constituency. Every night, cannabis smoke creeps in from the street downstairs into their children's bedroom, aged 4 and 6.
Didn't happen.
That's not low level. It's ruining their lives.
Oh my God. Right. I'm not laughing, just for the record, at like this potentially fictional thing, like however, man, like, yeah, and there was these weed smokers blowing it in a child's face and saying, weed's great, we hate you, we're antisocial. That really happened. Oh, mate, like, attacking weed smokers is a really, really bad move. Do you know who's terminally online? Weed smokers. Not all of it, like, because so you know, it's like, this is the misnomer about weed smokers, where it's just like they're all lazy. Right. I don't want to give a laundry list of me achievements, but there's a lot. I've done plenty of ultra marathons. Some of them, I smoked weed on the morning. It was good. Settled the nerves a bit and just made things a bit funnier. Proper dialed in on the bike and that. Honestly, I just don't understand this, notwithstanding the fact that, like, it's one of the maddest so-called strategies to win an election I've ever seen, pandering to what can only be described as the GB News Nana Brigade. But not only that, you've just wound up this whole, like, load of people when the winds of change are sweeping across the world, Germany about to bring it in for recreational. Imagine the tax money. That'll be a nice rebound from COVID. Nah, Starmer, my government will bully weed smokers. We won't talk about bringing in legal anything whatsoever because old people vote. And that's the thing. Weed smokers, let us unite against the Labour Party. I call upon you on this day. I can't say the next bit because YouTube guidelines might think I'm encouraging the smoking of drugs. For medicinal purposes, if prescribed by a doctor, which you can do in the UK, by the way, Starmer. So how do you know they weren't actually out there getting some fresh air because they were smoking the medicine, which is prescribed and by the NHS and through a third-party company posted through the letterbox? I mean, who would do such a horrible thing, eh, Keir? Like, seriously, this whole dog whistle stuff as well. For me, there's a racial element to this as well. Because, you know, like, GB News is programmed Yanana's head. When they think about weed smoke blowing, they think about black people. Strange, but true. I mean, why on earth would a lost leader media company like GB News, which loses money, exist for any other reason? To radicalize your nana into voting for fascists. So, I mean, it's playing to that, isn't it? Once again, people of color come off worse. And listen, they know what they're doing. However, let's not get it twisted. I need a bit of lemon balm tea though. 2 seconds. Weed's really helped me in life. It has. There's times where I was going through like bereavement. It helped. I want to put a disclaimer in. A lot of the stuff kicking about in the UK, right, is you couldn't pay us to smoke it. It's been sprayed and it's horrible. So this is not like all weed is great. To be honest with you, a lot of the weed in the UK is absolutely horrible. Don't touch it ever. Don't let anybody touch it. That's one of the problems with this Starmer thing, right? It's actually ruining people's health, and it's enhancing these criminal gangs that on the whole stop the boats thing, whatever they're doing this week, is one of the issues, specifically with, they say, Albanian gangs. So if they want to stop all of that at source, then why not legalize weed care? Because that'll really help. And you know what else it'll do? Bring loads and loads of lovely money into the country because it'll be taxed just like it is everywhere else that's civilized. Hope that helps, you fucking weapon. Right, we're 8 minutes in. Sound first swear word. Really, really think I've done very, very well there, to be quite honest with you. 2 seconds. I just need to pull something else up on the screen. I'll be right back with you. Where has it gone? It's not there. Great stuff. Thanks for that, StreamYard, booting things out. It's the main slides. Cheers, mate. Right, it's just popping it in now. Processing. Might as well have a drink of tea. Apologies for the delay. Oh man, that's lush. That like lemon balm tea. Get amongst it. Anyway, he has this absolute dafties boat race coming up in your face. Not literally, hopefully. I think, you know, coming his life. Anyway, MSN.com. Starmer declares Thatcher was right during flagship speech where thousands protested her. Right, I'm from a mining family and I'm a weed smoker. Who is this designed for? I'm from your so-called red wall, Kia, right? A skinhead from a mining community is generally, I would imagine, what your focus groups think you should be targeting. But guess what? I'm not right wing. We're not a homogenous sort of mass of the same thing. We're not a monolith. We're not any of this focus group crap that you can just belt down into the red wall. Well, what does the red wall think of this? Maybe, you know, those people with the crows on the wall, light a fire and ask them and throw weed on there. All of the weed that we take off people who've got multiple sclerosis and cancer, throw it on a big fire. Same energy as this absolute fool bag, man. Honestly, like just regressive. Just moving on with Starmer as well here. Keir Starmer will lose an election campaign on day one unless he shifts his trans rights position, Labour strategist warned. The Labour leader has recently changed his position after he said Scotland should not have made changes to its transgender laws. But 2 years ago, he said Labour would introduce self-declaration for trans people. Oh, you mean he's done a complete 180 again? Oh, thanks, Keir. So this from Socialist Voice, which Keir Starmer has probably prescribed. And if he hasn't, he will very soon. Sorry for that noise. I banged my knee off the desk because I'm a wriggler. Anyway, Socialist Voice. So Keir Starmer bans Labour councillors from watching film that exposes the big lie about Jeremy Corbyn. Oh, Jeremy Corbyn, the big lie, exposes the dark and murky story of smears and lies used to bring down the former Labour leader and the hope of meaningful change he represented. If you're so confident of the morality of your position, you wouldn't go and ban people in a McCarthyite fashion from watching a film. You would want them to make their own mind up because you're so sure of your position. So anyway, in a completely unconnected happening, the makers of The Big Lie will be coming on the podcast very soon. I've just got to get a date in because we had one and then I had a crash. So anyway, we're back. So The Big Lie. Yes. We'll hear from them directly, shall we? See what they've got to say and look at the evidence on its merits. So this from Philip Boss LD on the Twitter. Starmer is quoting from Thatcher's 1975 speech to the Tory party in which she condemns the Shrewsbury 24, later exonerated on 2010s. By the way, just on the Shrewsbury 24, Ricky Tomlinson was one of them. You'll probably know him as like the father from the royal family who sits there skull and cans in his vest. He was one of them. That was one of the reasons why he went into acting, actually, because he got blacklisted from the building site. So anyway, moving on with this. A Labour council refused to raise rents on social housing and praises the British Army following the Bloody Sunday Massacre in 1972. We've got it here. This is Margaret Thatcher. The first people to uphold. I'm going to try and do a Thatcher voice. Can I do a Thatcher voice? No, don't try it. Anyway, the first people to uphold the law should be government. It is tragic that the socialist government, to its lasting shame, should have lost its nerve and shed its principles over the People's Republic of Clay Cross, and that a group of Labour Party should have tried to turn the Shrewsbury pickets into martyrs. Exonerated in 2010. Look into the blacklisting thing. There's a guy called Dave Smith on Twitter. Follow him. On both occasions, the law was broken and one violence was done. And no decent society can live like that. No responsible party should condone it. This is what Keir Starmer is condoning. This is the speech he references. Margaret Thatcher called it the first duty of government, and she was right about that, he says, referring to the question of rule of law. That is a direct quote from Starmer's speech. So he's noising up Thatcher and he hates weed smokers. Right. So you're deeply uncool then. Didn't know. This fine, is it, Keir? For the audio people, it's the iconic picture of the copper on a horse about to brain one of the miners. Also, from Starmer's speech, fly tipping, off-road biking in rural communities, drugs. Some people call this low level. I don't want to hear those words. If you want to commit vandalism or dump your rubbish on our streets, then you better be prepared to clear up your own mess. Because with Labour in power, that is exactly what you will be doing. Clean the streets are safer streets. Are ye gonna make work here? No, you'll be sending the busies because you think of yourself as the head busy, much like the head vampire from Lost Boys. We'll never invite you in our house, though, you absolute rotter, because you will get stoned with secondary smoke because we'll be smoking you out, fool. Here you are. Here you are. Anybody wants to say to us that voting for Labour is anything other than a right-wing endeavour needs to get right in the bin. This is class. One of the best shitpost left accounts, Manny Quinn. Check that out. To all Labour voters and Starmer sycophants, don't ever fucking call me a Tory enabler. I'm not the one who makes speeches declaring that Thatcher was right. Excellent work, Manny Quinn. Open and shut case. Done. Over with. We're not the Tory enablers. We're not referencing Thatcher or the discredited Shrewsbury 24 fit up, that where they were exonerated in 2010. not interested in striking whatsoever, unless it's to smash the unions. What's people saying in the comments? What you got for me? Let's have a look. Right. Just flying back here. Duncan said, starting with him, good luck not swearing. I honestly set myself the challenge, and 8 minutes in, we're dancing. Dexter Gordon, hello, my friend. Starmer, the new milk snatcher. I wish it rhymed as well. Keir Starmer, the nutrition harmer. Doesn't really go as well, but we can try. Trev's in. It was literally the king of Northeast weed. loves a smoke, does Trev. Anyway, Trev's saying we could arrest their leaders, raid their homes, break up their meetings, and vilify them night after night on the evening news. Did we know we were lying about the drugs? Of course we did. Now that's a quote. What's that from? It's probably further down in the thread, but it's a buoyant comment section today. Mike Connell's in the house. Hello, pal. I hadn't seen that. Amazing. I'm just completely out of the loop here. Zoe's saying I'd rather have cannabis than an opioid addiction, to be honest. Right, I'll tell you something. After I had spinal surgery, they offered us opioids. I knocked it back. What did I use? Paracetamol and weed. That's right. I got a specific strain for anti-inflammation, and it worked a bloody treat. I tell you what, though, I was absolutely sickened with weed after a couple of months, and it ended up just when I didn't need it anymore. I didn't even smoke it recreationally for ages. I was just sick of it and tired of it. But guess what? I wasn't addicted, because it's not. I mean, maybe it's mentally addicted with some, but the vast majority of people, it's fine. As long as you know what you're getting and you're not buying Raj Albanian shit, which is just probably a huge part of the bloody supply chain these days by the looks of it. In the UK, that is. Is that why you came off your bike? How dare you, madam? No, it wasn't actually, but I tell you what, it not helped with the inflammation and everything afterwards. El Boido is saying, can we ban tobacco as well? Nicotine is a drug. It's addictive. It's proven to have an effect on brain development in fetuses and children, and the smoke moves in the same way as weed smoke. Well, the thing is, right, if both these drugs were just like discovered now, and now the one based on science that would be allowed to be legal, and it's not tobacco, is it? So why is he not going after tobacco smoke? Maybe it's because of the lobby money. Let's have a look and see, shall we? Maybe I'm wrong, allegedly, but we should. We should always try and undermine Keir Starmer every single day. Andy Taylor, oi, what's this then? Yari pal, nice to see you. I'd unite with you, but I'm stirred. A bit early, bit of a wake and bake there happening. Roy Collins, quite a good go at the voice of the charmless Adonai little Dalek. I haven't quite nailed it, but I think doing ones that are a little bit too much and not quite, it's a bit funnier, really, isn't it? Jeffrey, I want it to be more zippy than his own voice, because I want to take his soul. El Boido, didn't the old people this policy is aimed at pleasing to use cannabis in the old days when they were young, and it was more legal then? Sorry, not Starmer. Many did, but as we've seen, especially the last few years, there's a hell of a lot of sellouts about, isn't there? So apologies if I didn't get your comment. There's a very buoyant one happening there, and I appreciate you, man. Just got to get onto the hope, because we like hope, and we always want to try and bring hope every day as we're undermining all of the baddies. Right, before we do though, please go to the community tab on youtube.com/cowdaily. It really helps to rise in the algorithms and feed the beast that is big tech, but also jam that with real underground culture, man. So help, please, yeah. Share the stream, yo. If you want to become a patron, supporting our work directly, it's massively helpful and gives me a nice positive lift every time. Patreon.com/cowdaily. That's patreon.com/cowdaily. Help us build our own media institutions to hold people accountable, because it's mad important, and it's why I'm doing this. Also, if you want to make a one-off donation or work, PayPal link in the description of this show. Reet, fancy a bit of hope? I do. What we got. So I want to show you, this is where I used to live in Shetland, right? place called Hossack, and this was the jewelers. Just you see the arrow there. She's put my studio. We lived literally just over from it. And this was the Aurora Borealis Northern Lights a couple of nights ago. We saw it when we were there. We didn't quite see it like that. It's more like in noir rather than colours to the naked eye. It's quite often pictures, but just wanted to big up Hossack, especially Chris and Wilf, my friends from Hossack as well. Much love to yous, and hope yous are keeping canny. Also, this is from just down the road, the lighthouse at Sunborough Head. That's like looking out, obviously, to see how beautiful, man. I mean, we talk a lot about what's bad with the world and whatever, but that is magical, man. And honestly, seeing it like firsthand, like a light show in the sky, it's something crazy mental. We saw it at St. Ninians, which is a Twombola beach where the sea comes in from both sides, and honestly, you'll never forget it. So big up the good people of Shetland. You're having a bad old winter, so I'm pleased that you got to see that. Hopefully stays up there in good time. Also as well, since the crash, the algorithms hated us, so we dropped off the charts completely, round about the bottom at the 200s. But now we are back up in round about like the sort of 50s and whatever. Round about the Young Turks, Anna Kasparian's had a beast the last 24 hours. Like to see how this debate develops. And Hassan Arbi slightly above him, which is cool. He's got a massive following on YouTube. Just got a big build on, and it would just give us a bit of hope and positivity that we're going the right way. So thank you to everybody for downloading, reviewing, all of that good stuff on the audio to get work back where we need to be. Give the algorithm a little tickle, and bless we're back up, because seriously, this is a hell of a lot of hard work. So to have a 2-month break where the algorithm just hates you and just throws you straight out is just brutal. So we're back, and it's thanks to yous and your help. So thank you very much. Just wanted to say that before the weekend. Have a belter one. And look, there's a hell of a lot of hope around, massive amounts, and we're going to talk about it every single day on this show amongst the darkness. Might go live over the weekend. My partner's away, so I'll be bored. So maybe I'll pop up and just do like a hangout one. Maybe we won't even upload the audio. Just trying to look at the formats, and I'm looking at what other people like Hassan Arbi been doing. It was strange when I saw him next to us in the charts, actually, because I watch his channel. It's very interesting. Him and somebody called Volsh as well. Just catch up on like sort of American news and whatever. Yeah, so thanks very much for being here. We've got some really great shows lined up soon. Next week, we've got Newcastle United against Sports Washing coming on. I'll be getting in touch with the people from the doing the big lie, and maybe see if we can get them on towards the end of the week and start bringing the guests in, as well as a show I'm putting together on Russia, China, Iran, Saudi Arabia, the new BRICS axis, and the differences and evolutions in global hegemony away from the United States and the West and the UK and European Union towards BRICS and this new thing that's occurring. So plenty to talk about, plenty to do. Hope you have a very special weekend, and just big up yourselves, and thank you to every single one of you for all of your help, your shares, your likes, your subscriptions, your patrons, your donations on PayPal, telling your friends to tell a friend. It all helps, and it all brings people towards what we're doing, which is basically just present the truth, but try and have a laugh every day while we're doing it, innit? So much love to everybody in the live chat. Yous are the MVPs. Thank you. It would be very hard to do this sitting in a room on my own without you good people. Just have a belter weekend. This will be straight out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and as ever, available at 7 p.m. UK time if you're watching for anywhere around the world, on the playback, and I'll more likely pop up in the live chat if you want a bit crack. All the very best to yous. See you bloody later. I'm going to press this button and I'll be away. Trons.